Marty.
That's Hey, Carlos. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Not too bad, no thanks.
Greg. Hello, everyone. Just giving you a minute or so. Folks still coming. Hey, Shane. It's good to see you here. Welcome.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Thank you.
Hey, let's just wait another 30 seconds. Almost there. Let's see. I don't see Pete. Oh, David here. Let's see. All right. I think we have quorum, so we should be good to go. Everyone, welcome, especially those joining this first time. As usual, we start with Pete with some of the community disclaimers and announcements. So, Pete, over to you.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining. Always a reminder that the llm-d project does have a code of conduct. It's on the llm-d repo, and so if you do have any questions or issues, you can reach out to either myself or David on the community side for any help with that. As we're kind of going into the summer, one thing I just want to call out as well, with vacations and trips and other things, I know that might adjust the SIG meetings that are happening. So just reach out to either or, probably both David and myself, if you do need to make any changes for any meetings or other things like that. I think we'll both try to do our best to mark ourselves if we are away or on vacation or something, so that, and I don't think there's any overlap, but we'll confirm on that. So, but again, if you are going to have any trips or adjustments to your SIG meetings or whatever, just give us a heads up and we can take care of that for you. And yeah, that's it for me.
Great. Thanks, Pete. All right, so let's, as usual, do open forum first, and then we go to SIG updates. There's one topic from Kyle. Kyle, if you're here, feel free to chime in. Go ahead.
Sure. So this came up. So I'm working with Red Hat downstream. So we were working on some downstream stuff, and we happen to have CodeRabbit installed on all of our downstream repos. And so it identified a few issues, and it came up. The kind of question was raised: well, should we have something like CodeRabbit, some sort of AI review bot installed upstream on the llm-d repos? So I figured I would just put it on the agenda and kind of throw it out there to see what people thought. Maybe one way to frame it might be, does anyone have any strong objections to this? And if not, we could take an action item to work on this. But yeah, curious more broadly what people's opinions are on this.
Does anyone have opinion on CodeRabbit specifically? Sam?
Yeah, I just wanted to provide a little bit of insight. I have worked with CodeRabbit in some upstream projects, and actually it does a really nice job on like first pass in terms of like reducing maintainer overhead. Overall, I mean, initially I was pretty apprehensive, right? Like bringing it into the project and the overhead it may cost. And of course, this is something that would need to be slowly rolled out and, a deeper look. But overall, I've had good impressions with it on a project level.
I think it's, of course, a very, very valid topic. That goes without saying. I think we all maintainers across the whole industry, of course, we are just struggling with a lot of things happening these days. I know that's quite popular. Personally, I don't have an opinion. I think from a project perspective, we should at least look and see what is people's experience with it. I think the only concern, and we can check this offline, what are the implications in terms of cost, the fact that also a lot of our infrastructure is maintained by CNCF today. If it is something that you could, also have supported through the foundation. So some of those questions, maybe as an action item, Kyle. Yeah, I'd like to explore these. If nobody has an objection, we can do this offline. And then, okay, so good. So free, it's good. And we can follow up offline and see if anyone has either objection or any suggestion how this could be configured. We could maybe try in one of the repos first and see how it goes, and we go from there. But I think that's good. So thanks, Kyle, and and we'll follow up offline.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'll take that action item. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay. Any other open forum topic? All right, so I'll just quickly update on the release. If you're tracking the timeline, you probably know that we are 2 to 3 days delayed. There is, of course, tons of effort to get these things in the timeline and right. There were some issues that we needed to fix, not anticipated. Again, a lot of moving parts, and those things do come up. Team is doing the best. This can be anytime now. I think we just closed the last issue that was still pending, so that's good news. So stay tuned. It will go out very, very soon, but yeah, there's a bit of delay on 008, but a lot of good stuff is also coming. And also more and more we take very seriously, like things need to work, like all the tests and CIs, and with a very large surface area, no surprise, we always find something last minute that was not right. So the beauty of writing complex infrastructure software. So very good. But I just want to say that again, 08, it's coming, should be here anytime. And of course, you'll notify the whole community. Okay. If nothing else for open forum, yeah, I actually have one more. Also keep an eye on blogs, continuing to kind of double down on just, again, capturing the experience, blogging about the things that we do across the project many times with partners, right? So we make more and more welcoming and having support to write about the work coming from others as well. So there's a series of blogs in the pipe. So we start to push some of them. So also the community should know that you continue to, again, double down just communication, best practice, and so on. So also keep an eye. And I think that's it for open forum. I think we can get to SIG updates. Let's start as usual with SIG installation. Marcio.
Okay, so we have Stone. We released V08. The main thing that we wanted to have for this release is to have all the main guides converted to the new CSD format. You can go to the table on the release. We are testing everything nightly. Now we're testing with benchmarks, with the llm-d benchmark to test. We also provide functionality to allow new APRs open. When you open a PR for a guide, you can immediately test the PR. If you are an owner of the guide, you can test the PR immediately by using the test nightly command, right? So the next step is to start to run the nightlies with specific guides, with specific workloads for specific guides. We're running right now with a generic workload. We want to move to a specific workload per guide that's going to highlight characteristics of the guide and allow us to track benchmark regressions. Then all this data is going to be dumped into a bucket and going to be consumed by llm-d Prism. So that's the final part of this whole structure.
Okay. Any questions, comments? All right. Let's go to PD disaggregation. Tyler.
Yeah, main updates and like my main focus over the past like a week or so has been VLM 0.24. So we're taking, so it'll be future release for llm-d. But FYI, so we've removed CUDA visible devices, setting that internally in VLLM. This may unblock the use of the upstream VLLM image on GKE. because that was one of the issues we were having there. So I my fingers crossed on that one. And then, yeah, other kind of big items are tool calling refactor, tool call parsing refactor. So pushing VLLM towards robustness on agentic use cases. We also merged DPP v2 support, so that'll enable YDP on DeepSeek v4. That's not available in the image yet, but it is if you install a newer version of DPP and a new version of Nickel. And then the other thing is the file system offloading has been merged into upstream VLLM. Generally, things look good, but we are hitting a lot of GIL issues, which is holding back performance for file system offloading. So working through those right now.
GIL issues, not first time we hear this, right? I think we unanimously hate it. So, but anyway, thanks, Tyler. All right, so let's go SIG router. Nini.
Yes, so most of the work is done around the release, also updating guides. So this is one part. As for the next steps that we are working towards the new coordinator implementation, once the release is done, we are planning to move it into the llm-d router repo. Currently, it's in incubation. We are running benchmarks. We comparing the new implementation. We have good results, but again, we need to validate that we are not doing any performance degradation. And once it's moved, first it will be under a feature flag, and then the plan is to deprecate the use of the sidecar. Again, this would allow both EPD disaggregation, also deferred decode, but also doing the regular PND choice. In addition, we are working towards also supporting P2P KV cache transfer. This is work that is done across VLLM, meaning that we will be able to basically, before starting pre-fill work, be able to take KV cache from any remote node that has KV cache that we can start as prefix with the use of the our indexing. So we are now working on cross design for that, making sure we are aligned. Also multimodal, omni. So there are things ahead that we will release the new roadmap of the next release once we finish with this one. That's it.
Oh, thank you, Neely. Abdullah.
Just a quick note on the sidecar deprecation. I think this is like an open question in general. Like it might still be useful to maintain it for a while.
Yeah, I think that it won't be immediate. I think we will, put some notice and we'll keep it.
Yeah, but no, I mean, actually mentioned like, even a bit longer, because like operationally it's easier than the coordinate, because coordinate adds like, yet another thing in the path. Maybe there are some deployments where the sidecar is just good enough, right? And it's much simpler. Just something to think about. Like I think
we can discuss, I think, in the SIG call of the next SIG call. But I agree, there are advantages of the sidecar. We, also testing things more quickly without doing changes in VLLM. We are using that, so I agree. It can be useful. We need to decide.
Alexei?
Just a short comment to Abdullah's question. It's anyway, we have to provide some transition guide moving from sidecar to coordinator in some smoothly path.
Yeah, this is part of the move. We'll have a migration guide explaining how we can move from sidecar to coordinator.
Right. It's less about migration, more about like actually a mode of deployment that we might want to maintain even long term, right? Like because it's generally might be easier for specific cases to just use a sidecar rather than having a coordinator, because a coordinator it's a bigger intake. Just like maybe, yeah. I mean, it's something to discuss. Not necessarily like we need to deliberate it here.
Just
Okay.
it sounds like a router SIG topic. Oh,
Yeah.
you need the whole community for that.
Right.
That's all.
Thanks, Itai, and everyone. Okay, great. All right, so if there are no questions for Arthur, let's go to KV disaggregation, Maroon.
Yeah, so a few updates. So again, most the major release items were hit: tiered offloading, advanced or hardening the routing paths. So good job to everyone involved. I usually have a list of contributors, but it's beyond listing here. So great job, everyone. Just a shout out. In the coming 2 weeks, we'll be migrating the KV cache and KV events libraries into the router, and we're also deprecating the llm-d file system connector since it's been implemented as a backend in the tiered offloading connector in VLM. So we'll be deprecating most of the content of the KV cache repo. We'll still maintain the storage evictions evictor component, but most of the focus of these two or these libraries is shifting out to the router and to VLM directly. Exact date is TBD, but sometime in the coming 2 weeks, we'll put out a specific migration plan, similarly to what we did with the inference gateway and the router migration. So very similar process will be kicking off in the coming 2 weeks. On VLM side, so on the VLM native tiered offloading connector, it's already kind of state-of-the-art tier performance, but there are ongoing performance improvements which we'll be updating on in the coming calls and blogs. So we have a blog that should be released very soon on serving hybrid models, and we'll have a blog in the KV Cache Win series going deeper into offloading capabilities we provide in llm-d. One last update on SIG focus and SIG scope. So with these migrations, with the scheduling pieces moving to the router, most of the discussions and the development will also migrate to the SIG router calls and forums. We're also launching an agentic inference SIG, for which the first call is next Tuesday. We'll be happy to have people there. I linked the North Star good buy-in from key people from the community. So we'll be launching that, and this agentic inference-centric pieces will be managed in that SIG. So KV offloading or core KV offloading pieces will remain to be the focus of KV disaggregation and the intersections with router and agentic inference. But so it's kind of a fan out of the SIG into 3 different SIGs. With that, I'll also use the opportunity to mention that we have new workload guides in llm-d. One of them is agentic inference. So we have deployments showing getting an agentic or a coding agent or a coding model to run with llm-d. It's a horizontal guide that is workload centric, that uses cohesive and horizontal pieces from llm-d, and will be evolving as part of the agentic inference SIG as outlined in the North Star. Feel free to provide feedback there.
Thanks, Maroon. Yeah, any question, comments? I'll make one comment. I think it's a strong signal of maturity when you're seeing this kind of cross-SIG type of work. We are definitely going from a bunch of things coming together to more this kind of workload-centric end-to-end approach. Yeah, and I think we're absolutely reacting to what we're seeing out there, and coming up again with this more holistic view. So I think this is great. Thank you all involved, and this is just the beginning. All right, let's do SIG benchmarking. Marcio.
Real quick. So now we have the full integration between llm-d benchmark and the OLED paths on the guides. The guides are using specific workloads directly called from llm-d benchmark. Had a bit of an issue this morning about some bug in one of the harness, but that should be solved by today. It's a minor issue. Second thing, of course, is we have this ongoing work to have this tighter integration with Prism. The whole point here is we're discussing with Prism to have every single rendered manifest, everything that was needed to create reproducibility as part of the benchmark entry when you submit a new benchmark run to Prism. Those are the two things.
All right, thank you. Any questions, comments? Okay, let's do SIG observability. Guangia could not be here today unless, he pinged us to let us know. I don't think Sally is also here. There's a bunch of things happening here. I probably won't do justice to everything, so I'll just defer to some of the polls and other things that are happening. This is another one that is really cross-cutting, so it's touching a lot of the components, which is great. That's exactly what we needed. So it's great to see some of the very concrete directions coming from SIG observability. So maybe next time we can have people reporting back on the details here. But again, do take a look. We always appreciate feedback on this one. Or if you have an ask for observability in your SIG or the component, also raise it here. Okay, so now let's do SIG auto scaling. Abhishek?
Yeah, sure. So release 0.8 is out. So thank you for the contributions to the existing members, and also we see many first-time contributors as contributing to 0.8. So do take a look at the release notes, and yeah, it's out. In 0.8, especially there was a customer or a community member requirement on the GPU rebalancing feature. So we put out a guide that has been merged inside the auto scaling folder that talks about this experimental feature. And this experimental feature is compatible with sort of both the paths, HPA APP and HPA WEA. It's biased towards HPA APP at this point. There's a work in progress, I would say, demo on improving the cold starts or solving the cold/warm start scenarios inside WVA. So FMA WVA integration demo PR is out there. I think that PR outlines clear instructions on how can one run this on OpenShift. Also, one can run this on Kind too and just get the flavor of it. So do give it a try and share feedback. On the benchmarking side, there is a new benchmark that has been work in progress. It's about multiple variants with token-based analyzer that WVA has. So that's a work in progress, and we're trying to get some numbers out. VA CRD is deprecated and will be removed in the next release, which is 0.9. So please follow the migration doc. The controller logs also print the deprecation notice accordingly. So yeah, this is just an FYI. So lots of progress, and making more progress in the next release also.
Okay. Thanks, Abhishek. Questions, comments? All right, so one comment from me here. Again, I just want to highlight the FMA integration, Abhishek. So again, this is a thread that we have very, very active in the project that, again, was some work in parallel, and it's great to see it coming together, bringing value to the whole SIG auto scaling Yeah, SIGA is scaling, so it's great. So I think we'll see more on this front. Is against a start, but it's exciting. All right, thank you. SIGA Ezra.
Yeah. So quick update. So first couple of kind of positioning kind of statements. So first of all, just that you know, on the SIGA rail, we are on the kind of exploration direction, and at this point, we are pursuing multiple passes in parallel. So we are not kind of focusing on a single pass, because we also have many target environments like Kubernetes, non-Kubernetes, Rails, llm, llm-d, Python, and so on. So the idea here is to try to explore all of them until we stabilize. And another thing is that we are developing components which are essential for the overall RL solution. However, at this point, we are not targeting or working actively on end-to-end global solution, and we don't want that to kind of stop us, right? So we are targeting on releasing those components as is helpful for the RL community and RL environment. They are able to integrate those into their framework, and eventually when we stabilize, we will also try to see how we can come up with the end-to-end story. So those are just two kind of directional statements. Regarding the progress, so I hope that by now you are all familiar with the no cube option of llm-d. So in the coming few days or a week, we are going to release some guides that will allow people to integrate no cube llm-d, either just the EPP as a routing solution or the whole llm-d as a rollout backup engine for both SLAM, Ray, Verl, Prime, and other. We already have a working solution with Verl and Prime. Regarding there is one additional item, is that we open a PR on, we identified that llm-d is not behaving as good as anticipated on bursts, and this is essential for RL. We push a PR, and you can go ahead and see that about the burst scorer. I'm going also to talk about it in the next call on the router. Regarding time slicing, so there is an MVP of the snapshot agent, which introduced checkpoint and restore primitives, very helpful. Once again, all those components are in the incubation project. There is an incubation project of time slicing. You are all welcome to go and try. And last thing is the Python scheduler, also a project we have on the incubation project. The Python scheduler, we just published a guide on how to integrate the Python scheduler within Verl as well. So that's it for the RL, a lot of good stuff.
Okay, thanks, Ezra. Any comments, questions for Ezra? All right, let's do networking stack. I don't see Praveen here, or Alec. Alec, are you here? No. So yeah, I can just maybe comment quick. It's a lot of progress here, and again, this is another one that is used across different places. I think the most important thing is that we enable these UCCL, which is pronounced UCL, like in nickel, as one of the transport options. This is becoming more and more mature. One of the transport options in XO, so with help for many people, also the Nixo team. This is one of the options. The backend can be just to switch it now. We also work on this same kind of approach to also have TCP transport as a backend going through UCO. So a lot of good things happening here. There is a blog scheduled to be released with some of the numbers, performance updates, and so on. It's one of the blogs in the series that I mentioned. We just like in the pipe, so we don't publish them all at the same time. So, but it's coming very soon. Again, keep an eye, you'll see more of the results. And again, big shout out to the team. It's been a lot of work behind this. So it's good to see the fruits and benefits now coming. And with that, just in time, I think we'll finish, unless there is any lingering question or comments. Feel free to ask now. And if not, I see you all in 2 weeks.
Bye.
All right. See you guys. Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye-bye.